Bryce able to do much today?
He did a little bit more today. Still was not a full participant, but he was able to get out and get some shots up. He did all the non-contact portion. Was in there for a couple. We just really wanted to test that thing, see how he's doing. It's going to be tough to throw him out there full speed without getting some live work in. So we were able to get him out there a little bit, but he did not participate in the full practice.
Can you say he'll play, though?
I hope so. I mean, we're going to get him a couple treatments. Obviously, we'll get him another one tonight when we get into Indianapolis. We'll get him another treatment tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a walkthrough time at the arena, so basically it will be a walkthrough at the hotel right before a pregame meal. So he's going to have to test it, get some flexion in there just to make sure he's good to go.
Hey, there's people asking about Trey's flagrant too, if there's going to be any further discipline with that.
I have not heard anything from the league on that, no.
What are the keys against Northwestern that maybe didn't happen the first couple of games that got to change for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a team that we have struggled against, and they pose a lot of different problems with the skill set of their players, especially their fives. And you know, Pete Nance is one of the more skilled, more versatile bigs, not only in the league but in the country, and he's really hurt us in the first two games. You know, Barron really got it going in their last game against Minnesota, where they were clicking on all cylinders, and Boo Buie, you know, his ability to score at all three levels, you know, really good mid-range, got a great little floater from the free throw line, and he can certainly heat up from the three-point line as well. And then they come off the bench with shooting and skill. So, you know, it's a team that's playing, you know, really good right now. They had the one setback. Buie didn't really play in that game with the illness. But other than that, this team is playing very well. And, you know, obviously a team we've struggled with. So just got to go out and get off to a good start. Hopefully continue on with the confidence that we have generated over the last 3 or 4 games and just play a complete 40-minute game.
I know after those 2 losses, you were pretty hard on the team for their effort defensively. How much further ahead are you now in that area compared to where you were in those
Well, I certainly think we're a different team now than we were at that time. And, you know, it's amazing what a little confidence will do for your guys. And, you know, finding a way to close out, especially 2 close ones on the road against 2 top 25 teams. Obviously, the stretch that we're on right now is very difficult and demanding with playing 3 road games and staying on a road trip, coming home for a day, and then having to hit the road again. And our only chance is to win 5 in a row. So just got to go one, you know, the old cliche, one game at a time, and hopefully play well and, you know, give ourselves a chance in this first one. That's all our focus is on right now.
At any point were you surprised the other day how well you played without Bryce?
No, I wasn't. You know, CJ obviously has been in a really good rhythm right now. So we started CJ, and you know, even missing shots, that was the thing that I was most encouraged with. We missed some wide open looks early in that game, like all by ourselves shots, but we kept guarding, and that's an area we've struggled with this year when our lack of shot making has affected us on the other end of the floor. But we were able to keep a lead in that first half, especially because we continue to guard. And then the second half, how we played through the adversity of that 5-minute you know, stretch that happened on the floor with so many different things that went on. Wisconsin in the bonus in the first 5 minutes of the second half, but to keep competing and to keep battling and to get key baskets from key guys, you know, they kept us in it. And then when we put Alonzo back in after the technical, which was his 4th foul, you know, he just completely took over the game and made play after play after play. So, you know, just, you know, being encouraged by playing through lulls on the offensive end was a great sign, and then playing through adversity, which again, you know, those are areas we have struggled with in all teams that go through the stretch that we did struggle with. So, you know, that you know, that's encouraging heading into the tournament.
So what do you think clicked for this team pretty much after the Iowa game when you guys
Well, I'd say the Iowa game we played very well. I mean, that was when you look back at that, you know, the one area where we got exposed a little bit was on the glass, but we followed the game plan. Our guys went out, they executed. It's one of the hotter teams in the country right now. I mean, they had Illinois down 15 in the first half on the road the other day, and after winning their previous 8. So it's a team that was really hot. You know, guys that hadn't made shots hit shots against us. So I was encouraged about the way we played against Iowa, and then that carried over to those road games. And we kind of found ourselves in those next couple games, which teams can do that. When you're having struggles, the opportunity to bond on an extended road trip, which we don't get many of those opportunities in college. Certainly in the NBA, you have a lot of them. But here to have multiple days together on the road, one-day preps, you know, the lock-in and that you have to have in those situations, I was very impressed with how our guys handled all that. And then to come home for a couple days, kind of catch our breath, One of the hard things to do, especially for a team that struggled, is to get a little content after you have big wins. You know, to put big emotional win behind you, and I think our guys did a good job of that.
Would you say the road show kind of helped the chemistry?
I think it helped, but again, I look back at that previous game, I thought we played very well. So I thought we built on what we did, we learned from it. You know, we watch a cleanup edit every day after the game, and our guys did a good job going out and executing in the Penn State game, which was probably our most complete game, just start to finish, the way we did that, and then to put that behind us on a one-day prep and go out and play well against a very good Ohio State team.
Fred, what's the communication been like between you and Brad Underwood over the last 48 hours?
Apparently I got a case of wine on the way, so I'm excited about that. Yeah. Yeah, we were texting this morning. Brad's a good friend, and you know, he's got a team that's capable of winning a national championship. So certainly wish him all the best. You know, on behalf of the Big Ten, to go out and represent well.
Moscato, what are you getting here?
We'll see. I don't know. He said you're going to like it. I gave him the choice. Yeah.
All conference awards.
I hope not Moscato though.
How would you describe your journey with Alonzo Burks this year?
Yeah, you know, he's been unbelievable. I'm really happy for Alonzo, the way he's playing and finishing off his career, playing his best basketball. And, you know, he was unbelievable early for us. You look back at our exhibitions in the Colorado game, where he just had complete control of that game and being asked to do something he's really never done full time before, which is play with the ball in his hands. And he's adjusted beautifully as the season has gone on. You know, he could have had, you know, when I went back and looked at it, the shots he generated for our guys, he could have very easily had 26 and 12 assists in our game the other night, especially with Bryce out. You know, we're asking him to do so much right now. The thing I think he's done a great job, he's slowed down. He's making simple plays. He's taking what the defense gives him. He's not playing in a crowd. And it's just great to see. You know, you look at the last 8 games, and you put his numbers up against anybody with his percentages and his assist-to-turnover ratio. So, you know, just really happy for Alonzo, the way this is ending for him.
You sat him down a couple times this year, and he didn't close games at certain points in the middle of the season. What do you think he learned from those experiences?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about the process and going out and learning from the good times and the bad. And, you know, he and I watched a lot of individual film together after games to grow from some of the mistakes that were being made, and he bought into it. And, you know, you see him out here. He was, you know, first guy in the gym this morning. He's putting a lot of work into his craft right now, and it's certainly paying off for him.
All conference awards coming out today. Bryce got some recognition. What can you say about the season he's had and the role he's played for you this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to see where Bryce is now compared to where he was a couple months ago, when, you know, it was so, I think, overwhelming for him, a lot of it because of the physicality. And, you know, I'm telling you from experience, when you make that jump from high school to major college basketball, there's a huge learning curve that comes with that. And just how he's bought in to everything that he needed to do to get himself to this point and be recognized as one of the top 15 players in the league. That's an unbelievable accomplishment.
It seems like he's not wearing down. Is there anything you can say about his condition?
I think he's gotten stronger, to be honest with you, Steve. I mean, you just see what he has continued to do, and he's gotten in the weight room, which, you know, as I've talked about a lot this year, not many 18-year-olds would buy into that. And he just has continued to get better. He's gained weight over the course of the season, which is, again, that's hard to do with all the wear and tear and all the commitments that these kids have. So everything that he needed to do to get himself to this point, he has done, and I give him all the credit in the world for it.
That guy out there, too, Burgess, seems like he doesn't wear down.
Yeah, he doesn't. And, you know, he's got a little bit of that. You know, I played with a guy named Sam Cassell, who, Sam jumped that high on his jump shot. You know, he just never really got sped up, and, you know, he just had the type of game where he didn't have a lot of wear and tear. You know, Alonzo can play all day long. He's just one of those kids that can do that does not get tired. But when he does, that's when I got to get him out, because that's when sometimes the mistakes compound. But, you know, we've kind of got a good formula right now when he needs to come out, get his rest, and go back in there and take off from where he left off, because he's gotten us off to really good starts. When you look at our numbers this year, our starts have not been our problem. And, again, Alonzo, I think, has a lot to do with that.
He had to be pissed off by what happened in the first 5 minutes the other day. And that probably could have gone either way emotionally. What did you think of how he responded, you know, when he came back in the game?
In the second half, you're saying? Yeah. And I put him back in with just under 12 to go. So, we just felt like if we had any chance of winning that game, we had to get him back in. I mean, we took a big risk by putting him in at that time, but I think he knew, obviously, he had to go out there and stay in. We ran some zone and, just tried to protect and slow the game down as much as possible. But, yeah, I mean, from a mental standpoint, to be able to go out there and play through that, because, I think a lot of people have seen the clip, and, to bounce back from what happened on that, to be the fourth foul, says what you need to know about him. But the poise he played with and stepping up and knocking down those shots, again, I was so happy for him the way that game ended, because we've lost a lot of those this year. We've lost a lot of close ones. So to be able to close, that one out with Alonzo playing the way he did through the adversity that he had was a great sign for our team.
You guys have had moments where you run into stuff like that, whether it's officiating or bad mistakes, stuff, and you guys sort of didn't respond the way you did before. When did you start to see that change?
Well, again, you look over the course of the season. If you find a way to win some of those early close ones, you just see a different air, a different swagger with our guys right now. And a lot of that has to do with we won a couple close games, and now you can do it. Had the Minnesota one, didn't go our way down the stretch against Iowa. A lot of that had to do with Iowa, though, and found a way to get some close wins, and that just does a world of good for your confidence.
The team motto seems to be "Why not us?" right now. Can you explain to us? We know what it means, but what does that mean to this team?
Probably what you think it means, Jimmy.